a new leak from episode 72 after waiting for more than 2 weeks for a new episode, and these leaks really do make up for the wait. And it's not just a single leak, but 3. And alongside this, Boom made an announcement about the new episode that'll blow your mind. Because even though it sounds like bad news at first, it's actually some good news. He also gave me some exclusive info about the release date of the episode, which I'll get into later in the video. But before we get into all of these, make sure to like this video and subscribe. We are getting closer to 1.5 million subscribers, and I know that a bunch of you are still not subscribed. Anyways, here we go. Before the leaks, we'll have to start with the announcement that Boom made, because some stuff came up with episode 72, and while posting the leaks for the first time ever, he posted the leaks both Discord and Instagram at the same time with the same announcement to let as many people know about the situation, because as you guys know, last week he thought the episode would be done already, and he would publish it this weekend. But that turned out to be impossible, and he wrote this in the announcement: "Sup y'all? Episode 72 turned out to be harder than I initially thought. To not delay it much longer, I decided to separate it in 2 parts. Boom. This tells us a couple things, and we'll have to start with the most important one first. A while ago, Boom revealed that he will not be doing any more part episodes in one of the interviews, and he'll commit to full-length episodes, but as you guys can see in the announcement, he had to change this just for this episode, because if he doesn't, it'll be delayed a lot. Now that we know there'll be 2 parts, I actually asked Boom how much work was left for both parts and when they might be released. After answering, he also let me share this info with you guys, which I'll tell you later in the video. The next thing we should be getting out of this announcement is that we already knew that the episode would be 3 to 4 minutes in total, and people have been screenshotting Boom being in SFM for 20 hours straight for 5 or 6 days now, and we all know he is grinding like there is no tomorrow. I think everyone out there realizes that this will be an epic episode if it's taking this much time. I don't know how long part 1 and part 2 is, but they both will be crazy, that's for sure. And let's not forget the interview I had with Boom, because the first question I asked was, which future episodes are you most hyped for? And he didn't even mention episode 72. This means episode 73 and 74 will be even crazier than what we are going to see in episode 72. And whenever Boom shows more than 1 leak with an announcement next to it saying it's not ready yet, we know it's about to be crazy. Now it's time to move on to the leaked images, and the first leak we got was this image of a helicopter toilet with rockets and a shield in front. We already knew the location of this episode thanks to my interview with Boom, and we know that we are around the Skibidi bunker, and the surroundings do reveal this to be true. This toilet's shield also does look a little different compared to others, but I don't think it's something the Alliance can't deal with, even though he does look sketchy with that smile. The only problem here is, if I learned something from Boom in the last 72 episodes, is that helicopter toilets never make it alive. Anytime we saw a helicopter toilet in a leak or in an episode, they died. And they didn't just die. They get overpowered and get crushed into their atoms as if they were worse than normal toilets. So I'ma just say it here. Rest in peace, helicopter toilet. You were just not lucky enough to have plot armor. The next leak actually shows a little more, but the real deal is the third leak, which I'll get into after the second leak. In this second leak, we see 2 cameramen, where we can see one of them is taking cover behind a broken car while the other cameraman is running away from an explosion, or someone that we can't see, because why would they be hiding or running? It's clear that Dafuk cut something in this image so that we can't see who is attacking, you might say that. It may be the enemy in the first leak or the third leak, but we just don't know. There is also something secret in this leak, and if you look carefully next to the building, we can actually see a toilet with rockets right there. But no, this is not the same toilet that's in the first leak, because if you look closely, it actually doesn't have any choppers, so it probably is not a helicopter toilet. And if you compare them side by side, the rockets are placed in different locations. But it's hard to say what that actually is. It might even be a toilet that we haven't seen yet. One thing that I'm sure of is that it's not this toilet they are hiding from, because it doesn't look like he was the one that caused the explosion, since the direction he is looking at is different compared to the explosion, and he actually might be the toilet we see in the third leak, because he also has some rockets in a similar position, which we'll get into right now. After this, we have the best leak of the 3, and it showcases a new form of a police toilet. A mutant police toilet, after the upgraded police toilets we saw with the spears. This really is a crazy upgrades, and it shows how much effort Scientist Toilet was putting into the mutant toilets. Maybe, just maybe, the container in episode 71 had a special mutant toilet inside, because a mutant toilet is someone who can definitely fit the container. And Boom mentioned that the container had the last unfinished project of the Scientist Toilet, and it's most likely either a weapon or a special toilet that we haven't seen yet. And Boom has been teasing the mutant toilets for a while, and it really is starting to look like the future of the OG Skibidi toilets. Here in this leak, we can see that this police mutant toilet also has a police helmet and 4 rockets with a shield, a crazy overpowered combo, but I don't think it's enough to deal with most of the Alliance members, but I don't think this will be the only police mutant toilet, even if he is the only one we see in episode 72. We also see someone else that's familiar in the background. If we zoom in far behind the police mutant toilet into the sky, we can actually see the helicopter toilet that we saw in the first leak in the background, which reveals us that the first leak actually happens after the last leak, and I'm assuming that the second leak happens before the third leak because of the surroundings. That's not all, because if you look down, you'll be able to see another toilet that's dead, and it seems like he also had rockets as well, and not just that, but glasses as well. And I'm gonna be honest, his face does remind me of G-Man a little, but I'm probably yapping. Now let's get to the release date of the episode, right before the new leaks were posted. Boom mentioned to me that the episode was going to be most likely 2 parts instead of 1 because of how much work was left. And after he posted the leaks, I asked him, so how much work is there left since it's gonna be a 2-parter this time? And he answered with, I'm sure there is at least a week more work for part 2, when part 1 can be released in 2-3 days if everything goes well. After this, I of course asked if I can share this info and said, should I mention this in my leaks video or nah? And he said, you can. So here we are. With this answer, hopefully we'll be able to get to see the episode in the next couple days. It seems like this episode is really going to be epic. Make sure to subscribe to not miss any news and updates on the next episode.